Mike, as you try to build, I know there's a model guy out there that you guys, when you talk to parents and the guys you're trying to bring in, is that model helping you and kind of define the kind of players you want to bring into Virginia?
Well, it's a model, having been here before, having a brother that went to school here, knowing people that have gone here and gone on and, done things with their life, both, life after football opportunities. You got to have a guy that values his education, that that values winning, but wants to do it the right way, and guys that that want to be great teammates. And this is a profile school that has a lot of schools that have young men like it, and you just got to make sure that you just stay after them, just stay after those guys, and show them being accountable, responsible. School does matter because it matters here. That you want to win games and you want to build a program, and you need that with talented players. So, there's a type of guy that you have to recruit here that can do well in all aspects, and that's what we're aiming to do.
When you see a Stanford and a Northwestern having the success that they have, though, you can win here as well.
Well, I know Coach Harbaugh, and I know those guys that the message that they talk about academically, and if you get things turned on the field, then that young man and the parents and the people that are that young man's champions. When I say champions, the ones that are in his ear, or the ones that can speak negative or positive about a particular school. When you see those types of schools having success, and you know that a young man can have the best of both world opportunities, because that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to be, then you keep talking about those things and you keep recruiting young men like that. And so, I feel confident that we can do it, that Virginia can do it. Virginia provides that kind of message for the young man that's out there.
Was there a lot to change internally?
Not. Well, let me back up. It's kind of an ABC process here. ABC process where, going to class is number one priority. You have to do that because you might mess around and learn something. All right. And then B is the players have to understand that there are eligibility, continuing standards to be able to play through the school, through the NCAA, that you have to do this. And so rather than just dangle on eligible, not eligible, this GPA, I need this because if I don't, then I can't play. Then let's double and strengthen the academic support system and the expectations of the players, so they're doing those things. So the eligibility aspect doesn't become a question or an issue. Get out on the front end of that stuff, and then have a staff and hopefully myself with the message that the players understand that it is important to me that they take care of business in the classroom. It is important that they see me class check, because if I'm saying go to class, then that's what they're supposed to do. And then you have a player that's eligible. You have a player that's actually learning something. You have a player that has a measured amount of success in the classroom, and then you coach them up, and then on the field you can rely on that player, and then you just try to coach them up to where hopefully you can give yourself a measure of success athletically, because they're starting to build some sort of foundation. Now, the other thing to that is I go back to recruiting the profile student athlete that can help bring you further along in the type of athlete that you put on the field. And so what we're trying to do is to get the best student athletes here that have the mindset, best of both world opportunities, but can play, can run, can catch, can tackle, can do all those things. And that's the goal.
And you set up some guidelines that if the rules are not followed, they will be in your office, and you set up some pretty interesting things, didn't you?
Well, they won't be in my office. They'll be out on the field enjoying the sunrise and things like that, and
being counseled aggressively.
Being counseled. It's amazing sometimes what peer pressure does. When your position guys are being counseled and you're watching as they're being counseled, and just the expectations of if you don't, then you won't play in a game, or if you don't, that new uniform that you have right there, I'm gonna take the name off the back of it and give me those gloves or those new shoes, or that the thing you put around your bicep to make you look nice and big. Or, hey, listen, tell your parents why you don't have, your 4 tickets, because You explain to them. And so I think some of those things and the expectations we just talked about a few minutes ago, hopefully draw the players into, listen, we might as well, do what we're supposed to do in the classroom, because you won't be able to do the thing that you want to do, and that's play.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, they want to play, run out on the tunnel, and and see their parents, let them parents see them play, and all those things. So you can affect both both worlds for them. But listen, I'd rather catch them doing something right and talk about the all ACC honor roll guys. I think we had like 7. The improvement in the GPAs, the reducing the number of guys on warning, the stories about professors, getting back to Adrian Haraway, our academic advisor, but hey, so and so is doing a nice job in class, and even the ones that aren't, that they recognize that they aren't, that we can then, through the academic advising and through encouragement, hey, listen, we got to turn this around. And then looking later on how they turned it around and using that as a point of, hey, listen, don't tell me you can't do it. You can do it. And all I'm saying is, Mac, is in this process and trying to build this program, we need measures amount of success like that as we're going along here, on the field, in the community, in the classroom. We want to win on the field, and like I said, though, but there are aspects of that you build towards the type of players and those type of things that help you get there.
And in closing, the professors and the deans have reacted very favorably to your guidelines, haven't they?
Well, I think, when the professors and the deans have an opportunity to talk about student athletes, and we're talking football in particular, that there is an emphasis, from the head man on down to my guys' participation in their own academic achievements and development. I think that's an important message to send. And when you do that and you see the improvements, then you have an opportunity, hopefully, to go out and recruit other young men. You say, you know what, we're going to take care of this young man. Our support system, we think, is second to none. You have a staff that's committed to it. And you get that type of young man who's an achiever in the classroom, and you also want that guy that's an achiever on the field. And then you go back to what we've been talking about, having that type of profile student athlete here.
Great. Perfect. I am not going to